something you wanted to discuss with me?
I wanted to congratulate you.
On what?
Having a smart me on board.
Seriously?
Yeah, I flipped through some manuals while you were sitting on your hands. Looks like we had the base operating in minimum maintenance mode.
Oh?
Yeah, but I played around with functionality options and, hey presto, we got some new handy toys unlocked. Tools in the workshop and such.
Wow. Oh, thanks. I can't wait to check them out.
No problem. There's also some upgrades available in the building module. Sound like something you like to play around with too?
Sweet. We could do with some improvements here.
Sure, but don't start fantasizing too much. Remember, everything costs resources. So, wherever we are and however long we're staying, it might just be wise to see if we can set up a mining outpost instead of relying on shallow deposits. Just in case.
Sound advice. I'll consider. Whoa. You look tired, man. Everything okay?
I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with sleeping on the floor?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Of course not. You have your cozy captain's bed.
All right. No need to be so dramatic about it. I'll get you a proper dorm.
Sounds like a promise. there?
These loose rocks look like they might be passable. If only I had a tool to drill through them.
About time. I'm in some deep shit here.
So you're not at your destination yet?
I'm stuck. We're stuck. There's a freaking lava river blocking our way.
Do you think you can cross it?
I don't know. Still working on it. Anyway, you can help me?
I can try. I have a limited view of the surface of your planet, but there is one thing you could do.
What's that?
You have a lot of very useful tech on board that base. It's designed to overcome practically any obstacle. All you need is a properly trained crew, if you know what I mean.
More altars. Is that all you have for me?
You still don't get it, do you? That's a lot. If it helps, I have some news for you. Good news and, well, just news.
What's the bad news?
You didn't listen. There's no bad news. First of all, I've been informed that a rescue party is being organized.
Organized. You mean they're not on their way yet? What the hell are you waiting for?
Mr. Dalsky, please, calm down. No matter how long the procession, it will always end up in church.
What?
Just a thing my grandma used to say when I was a kid and tired of doing my homework.
Except this is not about your homework.
Sure. But you gotta understand, your mission got dispatched pretty far away. We still haven't mastered teleporting.
So, what's the other news?
Well, I know you have a lot on your plate right now, but there's a request from my boss directly. Before we get you out of there, we want you to retrieve as much Rapidium as possible.
Figures. They don't want to lose their chance. Probably worthless to your higher-ups without Rapidium anyway.
It's sure gonna give your rescue mission wings, if that's your kind of incentive.
Of course.
My boss will want to speak to you shortly. And you'll see how important it is. He's not some kind of empty three-piece suit if that's what you're afraid of. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it was his idea to, you know, let you in on the branching procedure. By the way, is your altar doing any better?
Yeah. We're getting along pretty well now. Thanks.
That's very good to hear.
Is this about you wanting to talk to him again?
No. No, none of that. My boss put it out of my mind. That's not to mess things up even more.
So, you admit it's a mess.
What? No, we just... You know what? I'm not commenting on that. Talk to my boss about it.
Okay. I better get back to work then.
Yes. Just remember about the Rapidium, Mr. Dalsky. And wait for contact from my boss.
rid of you.
I had a tool to drill through them. Nice. I don't know that movie. Yes. I was missing that.
rid of you. Rid of you.
Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for.
Hallelujah.
I hope you sleep well tonight.
I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization.
Sweet dreams, then.
Is there a problem? Are you blind? Things gotta change, or else.
What exactly do you want me to improve?
You should do something about those radiation burns, man. They need to be treated.
I hear you. I'll do what I can. Okay. I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it.
Holy shit. What now?
I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve?
So now I'm smart, huh? Well, actually, I do have an idea. We could build a research lab and see if we can come up with anything useful there.
Okay, let's give it a go. So, what do you think?
The Geiger counter only crackles a little around me, so, you know, chill. I'm glad you took our little talk seriously.
Good. Let's put this whole thing behind us and focus on what's ahead.
Evacuation functionality. To the safer evacuation.
Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found Rapidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course. Yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan. And you understand the stakes. I don't want to put pressure on you, but... failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the Rapidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rapidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I think you're bullshitting me. What if I hadn't found Rapidium? You'd never go to such lengths to save me, would you?
What if? People like to use that phrase a lot, don't they? Well, you can actually learn the answer to that question. Many would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Of course.
Then we will understand each other well. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate Rapidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now. Constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dulski.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Thanks.
Of course, I would lie to you if I said your work is done. You've probably noticed how different Rapidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
So, you're afraid the Rapidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An Ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting Rapidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a Rapidium Ark should be your primary focus now.
Sounds like a big task. I should get to it straight away.
It is a big task, Jan. But it's worth every effort. I hope you realize the gravity of the moment.
I thought you said you didn't want to put pressure on me.
You're right. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
No. I'm good.
Then we only have one more issue to clear.
What's that?
You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of your altars.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
Evacuation functionality. Which can jeopardize your mission.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much Rapidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which can only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found Rapidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you're wrong about one thing. You are my duplicate. I created you using Rapidium, but we're not identical. I've noticed you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? You have to get our research lab running at once. We need to make some improvements fast if we want to succeed. Then I guess the sooner I start, the better. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.
Evacuation functional. To disable evacuation functionality.
I'm also Jan, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home.
Cheers. So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That's slow enough for you? Hey, you've just crossed out every team-building exercise on my list. The people are there for the mission, not the other way around. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. Turning it over in your head won't get you anywhere. You should focus on the work you need to do here and now. I never thought I'd say it, but yes, you're right. Let's get Rapidian back to Earth, and maybe later, we'll see.
To the Saber evacuation center. Saber evacuation functional.
Man, I'm telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you, this is the least important of our priorities. You've got to be kidding me. Come see me. I'd like to draw your attention to something. So, did you find a solution to our problem? Yes, it's super simple.
We'll build a bridge.
Oh, just like that?
Well, it can't be a regular bridge, of course. We don't have the time nor the manpower to accomplish that. However, there is a certain technology that came to my mind, superconductive bridge anchors. They could allow us to quickly span a light but durable construction across our obstacle.
Wow, great. Sounds exciting.
Yes, but...
Oh, here we go.
cut out the sarcasm. It's not my fault this excursion was prepared by a dilettante. Blueprints for the anchors should be standard equipage for every mission since Project Versant went live, but not on this one. They should fire the logistician, if there ever was one.
Tell me about it. It's so typical of Ally Corp to send people on a mission and then leave them stranded without proper equipment.
I hope you're not feeling sorry for yourself, because we need to act. You are in touch with mining operations, right?
Yeah, I am. Why?
Next time you talk to someone from mining ops, tell them to send over the anchor blueprints from Versant. Once we have them, things will go back to super simple. You'll see.
All right, will do.
Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too.
Oh, interesting.
A motivational hoodie.
Motivational? More like demotivational. I only kept it because it's really comfy.
Of course you did. It doesn't remind you of all that determination and ambition that fueled my academic success. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate it.